Everyone, thanks for joining us for today's morning 4321. We're in Psalm 13. You may see that David is not with us today, but in his place is Anthony Piero, who is my son-in-law. He's visiting from New York, and he's going to read Psalm 13 for us today. Anthony?
Thank you. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I take counsel in my soul and have sorrow in my heart all the day? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. Light up my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death, lest my enemy say, I have prevailed over him, lest my foes rejoice because I am shaken. But I have trusted in your steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord, because he has dealt bountifully with me.
When you start looking at this psalm is a lot like a couple of other songs and other psalms that we'll come to. They're honest psalms that express our frustration sometimes when we don't understand what's going on. We've dealt with this before, we'll deal with it again. That's one of the realities of life. We trust in God, but we don't understand why God does what he does. And I think this psalm gives us just a very simple formula as to how to deal with those situations. The first is found in verses 1 through 2. Acknowledge your frustration. Sometimes we may feel like we're sinning if we express any kind of uncertainty or a lack of understanding as to why God does what he does. And that's not true. God's big enough to handle our frustration. So express those. Acknowledge that they are there. Then verses 3 through 4, pour them out. Go to God in prayer. I'm not sure how many of us would feel comfortable saying some of the things the psalmist said here. We'd almost feel like it's sacrilegious, that we're blaspheming God. But the psalmist does. And I think that tells us when we're frustrated, we can pour our frustrations out to God. Say what you need to say. Now, these are said respectfully, and we need to make sure we're respectful when we say what we say, but just pour your heart out to God. Let God know what you're going through. Let God know the pain that you're going through. And then finally, in verses 5 and 6, trust joyfully. So despite all of our frustration, we hold on to God. We know he's there. We're just saying, God, I don't understand. So Austin, I think you're going to deal with the last part.
Yeah, just building off of that, clearly David is going through something really difficult in his life. And I think we can sometimes understand that. Maybe not as serious a situation as David's going through, but we go through things in our lives that are really difficult. And like Mark said, it needs to come to a place where we show our trust in God. But I want to notice in verse 6 why David feels like he can trust in God. He says, I'll sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me. David acknowledges that God has done so much for him over the course of his life. You think about David and his situation with Saul. God saved David's life over and over again. And I think for us, we need to take a lesson from this, that whatever situation we're going through, we can trust in God because he has dealt bountifully with us through the course of our lives as well.
Amen. Well, thank you, Anthony, for reading today. Thank you for the great point. Thank you for being with us today. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Join us again tomorrow as we get into chapter 14.